Hello, adventurers. Tonight, I'm here with Christopher Todd, the owner of Rogue Game Masters. Hello, Christopher.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Well, thank you for coming on tonight. Tonight, we are talking about Rogue Game Masters, which is a dungeon master for hire, mostly in person. But first, since this is a Dungeons and Dragons channel, do you have a good story for us? Something that happened in D&D at some time in your life?
Yeah, well, sometime in my life. I run a lot of games, and I really like the games that are super chaotic. And I have a group. It's my Wednesday night group, and I mean, they went for all the chaos items. They have the Wand of Wonder at low level. They got a bag of beans at some point, and eventually got the ultimate. The deck of many things. But overall, the story starts with when they first got the Wand of Wonder. We had a character who could not hit the bad guy to save his life. He was down to like 3 hit points left. It's out of spell slots. He just was not doing really well with swinging, and he was pretty sure he was going to go down because it was a Knoll Pack Lord who had like 30-something hit points left. And he said, you know what, Chris, I'm just going to do the Hail Mary. And he pulls out the Wand of Wonder, and he rolls on the random table, and he rolls the one where it shoots out up to X amount of 1 gold piece gems in a straight line, and it does the damage to the person, and it did the exact number of damage needing to kill the Pack Lord when he did it.
Wow.
So that was the start of strange coincidences with chaos items, and it ends with them in this massive fight pulling random cards from the deck of many things, that when they would pull one that did one thing, and then they'd pull the exact next card that would reverse the thing that just happened before. Like, it was insane. The one guy lost all of his stuff only to get 3 wishes back, to get everything back. It was really, really, really chaotic. I wish I had the exact chain of events, but it was this group just embraces the chaos, and it always seems to work out for them. So that is one of my most favorite type of games to run, and it's just nuts.
I love that. I had a funny deck of many things story too. I have a character named Roy Angamar, a tiefling warlock, and Scott, the dead professor, who's not on tonight. Happy birthday, Scott!
Happy birthday, Scott.
He does not like the chaos, and some of my chaotic stuff, he would just be shaking his head, and he wants more of a high magic world, and serious magic or like that. But I like the chaos sometimes. It's funny, and I know DM Evanson, who's also one of our Dark Alchemists, loves the chaos too, because he never knows as the dungeon master what's going to happen. Do you find that as a DM sometimes the plays just throw you a total curveball?
Oh, 100%. And I want to make sure I'm clarifying. I too love a good high fantasy game with rules and everything else, but I know my players. So, I had to make a choice a long time ago. Am I going to be that guy that everyone's like, he's just too much in the rules, or am I going to be the guy that just accepts what they're doing at the table and roll with it as we go? And I learned it a long time ago. If you just roll with it as it goes, the adventure goes a lot further. So
that leads into an interesting question. Now, you own Rogue Game Masters, and let's put your little symbol up here. Here's a Rogue Game Master symbol. Nicely done. I like that. We have a dagger through a scroll. The Rogue Game Masters in the front. We have little 20-sided dice in the hilt. So Rogue Game Masters is a Dungeons & Dragons Game Masters that your company basically maybe you explain it. It's your company. You should explain it.
So we are a service for both game masters and players who are looking to find their forever game. We all know the meme culture of, oh, my game was canceled last minute, and you've got the skeletons around the table since the last time they played, right? Or everyone's setting up, and then they're they age because everyone canceled at the last minute kind of deal. And I couldn't stand that. That is one thing that just drove me crazy about the RPG culture and getting older. I'm turning 47 in a month and a half, and I know for a fact that it would break my heart if my game was canceled last minute. And so I vowed to not cancel games. But I also like to build things. So I'm an in-person game GM overall. I like to put stuff together, physical terrain, Dwarven Forge, 3D printed things, mixing them, maxing them. I draw things from time to time. I commission stained glass backgrounds, like little. I'm not big projects, but like things that really bring things in. And what I was discovering is my people that are around me loved that too. So I was inspired by Start Playing Games, but they are an online behemoth for virtual gaming. And I took my business and said, you know what, we're going to do something similar to that, but we're going to do in-person only. So we don't offer virtual games. We are an in-person, in public service. So if a game master wants to make a little money on the side and wants to find that group that never cancels on them, they join my service. If a player is tired of their game master flaking out the last minute, or 3 people getting into an argument and not leaving their house, and so they don't have D&D that night, they join one of our games. And we build like strong table communities that turn into even bigger just RPG communities. So that's really what we are. We're a service. We allow GMs all over the country join us. We're just currently most of our games are located in the Hampton Roads area of Virginia.
Okay, that is in Virginia. So Virginia Beach. Let me ask you this: you have in-person games that are paid, and you also have your own group of personal friends that you play, or are you only doing you're so busy with the paid stuff?
Oh no, I don't. So I have a handful of players that are in my paid games that are my growing up players. They have. So
they're supporting you.
They are supporting me.
That's awesome.
And the table. And this is something I'm a full believer in transparency. The people at the table know that those 3 people that join my games to play, I don't charge them for that, and they understand it because they helped me launch my company. These were 3 people that and I tell my players that up front, and I've never had a person say, "Oh, I don't want to play if X isn't paying for it." They love it because those people add to the game themselves. So for me, it's a reward for my friends who I don't just run games and fun games anymore. I am running 6 games a week.
That's a lot, yeah.
But I'm also not teaching anymore. I'm a retired teacher of 20 years, and this company allows me to run games for a living and run the company during the day. So that's a big deal.
They say do what you love and it's not work, right? You do what you love and it's not work.
I had hair. Like when I was teaching, I had all of this was curls, and this is all that's left after 20 years of special education teaching. So,
okay. Well, maybe being a dungeon master will help it grow back.
There's not a potion I've ever discovered that can actually do that.
You have a fine beard. You have a fine beard.
Thank you. Can you do me a favor? Can you go to the campaigns page on this? The upcoming games is nice to look at, but I mean, we run a lot of games. We have 40 active campaigns a week. Some of them are bi-weekly. Yeah. Oh yeah. And most of them, if you're looking, are sold out or 1 or 2 seats. And we're talking, some of these games have been running for 2-3 years, and it's the same people. We garner loyalty with our clients because they love the consistency that we bring. And that's the kind of GMs I'm trying to attract to my banners. I don't want a wishy-washy GM. I want somebody who really loves what they do and feels like they should get compensated for their time, because game mastering is work.
It is work. Yes, sir.
It is work. I don't know players that buy half the stuff that a game master does. I don't know players who spend hours upon hours in a day thinking of what they're going to do for the next people when they get together. And so game mastering is work, especially, and this is always the caveat. Everyone's like, well, yeah, but if you're with your friends, it's not a big deal. And you're right. Absolutely. If you get a wonderful group of friends together and can play on a regular basis, you are a blessed individual. But as I get older, I'm finding that people are unable to do that, but they want to play. So having this available to them for less than a movie ticket, a bucket of popcorn, and a soda to play. I mean, $20, $25 is less than what you're going to pay to see a movie nowadays.
Yeah. So let's talk about, for example, we have the Curse of Strahd here. It's become one of the more popular campaigns. People will pay to play it.
Yep.
Now, how do you balance, or how do the game masters balance that the people sign up for Curse of Strahd, they simply know they're going through the Curse of Strahd, versus you have a campaign and you want to do some more writing and have some individual storylines? So maybe one person says, well, I really want to explore a background that I was a lost prince and maybe I get my kingdom back. That's not an out of the book type of question or an out of the book type adventure. You could take the adventure and now you have to add it in. How much time you spend, working on each player's kind of background, or is it more just you have your character and we're doing this one campaign?
Well, to be honest, I can't give you that full answer because every game master is their own boss. So they can run their games how they want to run their games. If you look at the Curse of Strahd, we also have a game that just ended tonight. The GM was up here returning his stuff. It's another game master. He does a Barovia Beyond Strahd, where it's can you scroll down just a little bit? I think I'm trying to see if I can find it.
Oh, I'm on page 2.
Page 2. Scroll up just a little bit more. Let me see. Sorry, I'm looking for a specific GM. I know this is Rime of the Frost Maiden. Keep going. Keep going. That's the same GM. I don't see it. He may have ended that campaign, but the GM scene, he has a Barovia campaign where it's Barovia after Strahd has been defeated. And so he continues the story in Barovia. And I think that campaign ended recently. I'm not seeing it on here. Nope, there it is. Lands of Barovia, right there at the bottom corner. So this is 20 years. Sorry.
We're talking about this guy here?
Yep. This is his campaign world set after the events of Curse of Strahd. So it is entirely up to the game master's prerogative what they want to run. They can run published games. They can run homebrew campaigns, however they want to do it, however long they want to do it. If they want to turn, I have a GM who is currently running, what's the Critical Role campaign? The
Alexandria?
one that, no, but it's the Call of the Netherdeep. It's their adventure that they wrote. And he Mikey told me that that campaign has gone so far off the rails that it's no longer Call of the Netherdeep. It's turned into its own campaign, but it's still called Call of the Netherdeep because that's what they originally joined. But the players wanted to go left when the story was going to take them right, and Mikey rolled right with it and just said, let's keep going. So it's entirely up to the prerogative of the game masters.
It is more work for the game master, though. I do some game mastering. DM Evanson, he's our primary game master, our forever GM. But I have a new group of players they haven't played in a while, so we have our own world called Erendor. They're monster hunters in a swamp, and I wrote a lot of homebrew, but I was like, man, it's a lot of work just to do everything. So I took Philander Below and took a couple of dungeons and castles that are there and just dropped it in. And I changed some stuff around. There's cultists. We actually printed out the map, and that worked really well. But to do something like the Lands Beyond Barovia, it's going to take a lot of work to, he's basically making that world up now. The world was made, but the continuing part of the adventure is a lot of work. So
what happens when Strahd is gone? Yeah. He took all the factions that worked for Strahd, that Strahd or that were afraid of him, and he turned them into separate factions vying in that vacuum of power. So with the player stuck in the middle, which to me, people might give me some hate on this. I've never been a fan of Curse of Strahd because Curse of Strahd to me is not about the players. It is all about Strahd himself. I am just an NPC. I'm playing an NPC in Strahd's overarching story is pretty much what I feel like whenever I play the game, because Strahd is such a powerful and active foe during the entire thing. I always feel like I'm playing second fiddle to Strahd because if I die, someone else will take my place, and Strahd continues to do what he's doing. So what I do like about this is he's taking the world that people really want to explore and giving them time to explore it.
So now some of these take place in game stores, some of these take place in breweries.
Mm-hmm.
We have a picture here. I see some beer in the background, so I'm assuming it's a.
If you also look in the background, you can see me sitting down, writing something down, but you see another table off to the right. That's another game happening. Oh, yeah. So we here at Rogue Game Masters in the local areas, we have actually that the gentleman laughing in that picture. His name is Chris Palausa. He is
he's a dungeon master. He's laughing. Yes. What's he laughing at? Hopefully the players are having a good time too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But he is he's an elementary school music teacher, and he also is in charge of our one-shot events. So once a month, we do a one-shot event at a local brewery, and we have between 4 and 7 tables of games happening at these local breweries. And we have a really good rapport with them, and then we post our games, and people join up, and it happens once a month. And these are scheduled events. So Chris organizes them, and this is at one of our first venues, the Garage Brewery here in Chesapeake, Virginia. We run 5 games out of that place a week, actually.
Talking about this, let's talk about the one-shot events. Yep. You have five game masters showing up, running, minimum, right? 5 game masters running 5 separate one-shot tables, and that's maybe 4 or 5 people a table, maybe 6, so 25 to 30 people playing.
Yep.
How does the brewery feel about that? Bringing people in on an off night.
They love it. If you look, everyone there is having a drink. Yep. You can see. You can also see there's food trucks outside because you can see the food that's being eaten in the picture as well. So that is one of our big allures. That we get contacted by venues and saying, "Hey, I can't get anybody in here on Tuesdays. Are you interested in finding out if any of your GMs wants to run campaigns out of this place on Tuesdays?" And so I'll send a game master there. On the other side of that coin, as part of my service, I have under the GM, under their dashboard, we have a venue assistance form. So the game masters, let's say my friend Chris here is not comfortable setting up a game. He's new. He's a new game master, and he really wants to work out of this place, but we've never done anything before. He can fill out the form and what night of the week he wants to run games, and I, as the owner of the company, will contact that venue on his behalf. So I will set up games for my game masters as well to help them make that connection with the venue. So once I make that relationship happen, I pass along the contact information of the store's manager, the brewery's tap room manager or whatever, and say, okay, I made the connection. You're good for Tuesdays at this time. Here's their information. And then they have that relationship that they begin together. And if they have to, by happenstance cancel a game, there is that level of talking back and forth, because my big deal is I don't pay for seating. So the brewery is not charging us for table space.
Okay.
They are making money based off of players buying drinks, and I am making money because they gave my players a place to sit. We have a symbiotic relationship. I don't have a single venue that charges us to come in. I know companies that pay promoters to get people into doors, right? We've all heard of club promoting, and I am a free promotion for their business. Essentially, all they have to do is give me a seat.
Even bartenders, when a bartender gets hired at a bar, then they say, "Oh, do you have a following?" And they want like the bartender to show up and bring 30 people in. That's a good night. 30 people show up because they know the bartender. Absolutely. You're bringing these people in, they're drinking and they're eating, and like I said, 30 people on a Tuesday or Wednesday night, maybe that when it's slow.
We have games there on Sundays and Wednesdays. So
Sundays and Wednesdays you found at the brewery nights?
Yeah, well, for this brewery, we have 3 tables on Sundays and 2 tables on Wednesdays. So it's 7 with the game master. It's 7 people at a table, so it's 14 people on a Wednesday night and 21 people on a Sunday, and those are their slow nights that they've deemed. So we are able to keep them open and paid on those nights.
How about are they using pen and paper, the people playing, or are they using Beyond D&D? You might have people who are not as familiar or new want to try it. How do you handle that?
It's whatever they want. If you actually can see the young lady kind of giving us the finger down at the bottom, she's using D&D Beyond. But the gentleman that's laughing like this has a paper character sheet in front of him. We don't pigeonhole folks. If they want to, if they want to run in with old school, I love pencil paper. I will print off a character sheet and fill things out myself. I've got one right here. I like pencil paper. I also take notes. It's up to them. Our game masters, a lot of them have subscriptions to D&D Beyond, but we're also running games that aren't D&D. We're getting a nice, healthy Shadow Dark community starting up. Daggerheart is picking up. I actually run one Daggerheart game a week now. A couple other GMs are branching into Daggerheart. We've got a Star Wars RPG system. We've got a Star Trek RPGs. So we're growing. 5th edition is wonderful. I call it the gateway RPG. Right. Yeah. It gets other people into the space. And then you find people are like, I like horror. Well, let's go to Call of Cthulhu. I like science fiction. Let's do Star Trek or Star Wars. And so, we now have a, Starfinder campaign, 2nd edition game as well, starting up. So we help promote other RPGs. And that's why we're Rogue Game Masters, not Rogue Dungeon Masters. Well, to be honest, Dungeon Master is copyright. So we were Rogue Dungeon Masters, and we changed it before launch because we discovered that Dungeon Master. Yeah, that's hard. Dungeon Master is copyright for Wizards of the Coast, and we didn't want to get nailed. So we changed to Rogue Game Masters, which is actually better for us because we run more than just D&D.
We can find on Instagram at Rogue Game Masters. That's all one word, at Rogue Game Masters. That's also on Facebook at Rogue Game Masters. And the actual website is roguegamemasters.com. That's Rogue Game Masters, all one word, .com. So, I'm into the different systems too. Our channel, Dark Alchemy, is focused on D&D. We kind of wanted to pick a niche and focus on that, but we do play Call of Cthulhu. We were running Call of Cthulhu events at Long Island Tabletop. I'm a cultist of Cthulhu, which is somebody who runs for Chaosium.
Cool. Stuff. I've never heard that. That's really cool.
Yeah, they have their own kind of like people. I don't know if Games Workshop or Games Workshop. Games Workshop actually does have it. They have Outriders, right? Yeah, they have Outriders and stuff. So I don't know if WizKids, Wizards of the Coast, and Hasbro has like official people they put out there. I'm surprised they actually don't. But
they might. Just might be one of those things that they don't talk about.
Yeah, but we just played the Aliens game. DM Evanson's going to run a Star Trek game. We've played Shadowrun, and really all the things for years. I'm 50. I'm in my 50s, 52, 53, and I've been playing since I'm 10. So you played everything, but we try to start to focus on D&D. But yeah, there's plenty of other games out there, and like the Cthulhu lends itself really well to the one shots. They have some amazing one shot adventures. Really fit in. Thing. What made you start Rogue Gaming, Christopher? Like why? Why would you do this? Why?
So when I was I didn't play D&D when I was growing up. I didn't start until after I was out of college. And when I was out of college, I was just back from Pennsylvania. I went to school up in the Poconos for teaching. And my dad is military. My dad was the chief engineer of Hawaii. I'm sorry, not chief engineer. He was in charge of the base. He was the XO of the base in Guam after I graduated college. So I couldn't just go home and then go on interviews, right, for teaching positions from Guam. So I was doing construction for my uncle in Philadelphia. I would come down to Virginia for interviews. I finally got a teaching job, and I had no money. And my friends who've been playing D&D forever that I grew up with from high school and middle school, I never was into it. I wanted to play video games. And so one night they're like, Chris, come over and play D&D with us. I'm like, all right, whatever. And I was hooked. Like I was hooked. We were playing a modified version of 2nd edition back then that our GM was running, and I was hooked. And then I went out and eventually got all the 3rd edition books. I had a 5-foot long chest with all of my books inside. I kept in my trunk, and we would lift it out and carry it wherever we went. That's when I started doing it. I met my wife. We got married. I was running 4 or 5 games for people, strangers out of the local game store. And then I had to cut back because it was becoming a lot. And then there was an article in 2019 called "The Rise of the Professional Dungeon Master." It was
I read it.
Yeah. And when that posted, I had 5 text messages from strangers, or not strangers, from my players saying, "Chris, you need to do this. You're good enough to do this." Now, a year before, mind you, my wife told me I should do it professionally, and I didn't think I was good enough. So, lesson learned: listen to your spouses, folks. They know what they're talking about. They know your true potential, and I should have listened. Imagine where I would be if I had a year head start. Holy cow! Anyway, so I started. It was 2020. I started running. I have a really good relationship with the local game store here, Tower of Games, and I said, "Hey, I want to rent out your private room for professional games for a month on a Sunday." And I posted on Facebook 2 games. The first Sunday I had 2 players. The following Sunday I had 4 players. The Sunday after that I had a full table. The Sunday after that, both of my games were full. The Sunday after that, COVID-19 locked down the country.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So it locked down the country. It put a lot of chaos on the country, and I had a message over Facebook Messenger saying, "Hey, we really had fun playing D&D with you last week, and it was a one-shot. Do you think you could make a campaign out of it and do it virtually?" And I said, "I don't know. Let's find out." And so what I did was I took those 6 people, and the 2 people I met that first weekend, it was a little kid's birthday, and I did a demo for them and his dad and his mom, but his mom didn't play. And those folks also found out that I was doing it virtually, so they wanted to do it, so I ran for their family. I ran for this other group, and then I got contacted from some people in the area here in Virginia Beach. I went on a vacation with my wife to Tennessee, and I ran into some people there in Tennessee who joined that game. And then I had a group of special forces military folk in the area and their families. And guess what? I still run those games with those people. Everyone who's local now, they're in person with me, which is crazy. And the family, the little boy and his dad is now running games for Rogue Game Masters, and his son, who is now out of high school and is a man, is also running games for Rogue Game Masters. So like we all stay together, and that's the big.
That leads into a question I always ask everybody who's a dungeon master or a game master. Why do you think in-person gaming and storytelling around a table is important in today's society, as opposed to all this electronics, video games, phones? Why is sitting around a campfire telling story important?
Well, I can tell you that I know the exact answer, and it also incorporates the video game stories. People want to make connections. For ever since the caveman times, we've gathered around and told stories. It was our history was a oral history for X amount of years. Same story. They had people that would build coliseums, and they would have a person come and tell epic tales verbally, orally, to an audience of thousands, and to listen to them. And then we started writing things down, and then we started writing books, and people would. Why do we read the same books? Why do people read Harry Potter series over and over and over again? Why do they read Lord of the Rings over and over? Because we love stories. We don't. And we truly love long stories. If we get past the 21st century commercials, every 30 seconds you need a distraction. I was a special ed teacher, man. I'm all about how commercials and ads mess up people's brains, right? If we move past that and get a story that hooks people, they will keep coming back for more. And people love it when they can also participate in it. Why do we go to conventions? Why not just do it online? Most conventions, you're just looking at things anyway. Why not just do it online? Because we want to be surrounded by people who are like-minded, who want to have fun, who want to hear stories.
Yeah, it's true. I think that's an awesome answer. I think you're the first person to say we like long stories. I mean, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter is a great example of that. Playing in a long D&D campaign and being able to look back. I always tell with my guests and other people I talk to about it, that the experiences I've had on these adventures are things I talk to about with my friends who are playing around the barbecue the next week. Oh, I remember last week this happened. Oh, that was crazy. But you remember a year ago? Those stories are still in my head. I lived those, and we still talk about those adventures, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
It's no different. It's no different than and people are going to also give me some hate on this one as well. Going through a traumatic experience with somebody builds bonds. Right. Right.
Yeah. Traumatic experience together. Yeah.
Your stories that happen around a table make bonds. It doesn't matter. It could be traumatic to a character and still cause trauma, but it also heals trauma. And that's another big thing that I advocate for, is when you get together with people, even strangers become friends then become family. And you can work through problems that you're dealing with because you have a support network, and they might not even know that you're supporting them. And that's a huge deal. I had a meeting today with a company called Odyssey ABA. Odyssey ABA is sorry, I can actually say it better. It is a play-based in-home clinic and therapeutic company that helps kids with autism learn how to have social skills through play. As a former special ed teacher, I had one of my former students, who is now a teacher assistant with this company, reach out to me last week and say, hey, we have some kids that are interested in Dungeons and Dragons. And today I had a meeting with the owner, and we've just set up once a month. We're going to start sometime, I think, next year, running games once a month for kids with autism who want to learn how to play the game. And what they're not going to understand is they're also going to learn how to talk to people. They're going to learn they're going to learn how to be social. And because D&D has rules, they're going to thrive under that socialization. Before I left education, I was writing a curriculum teaching kids with autism and social emotional disabilities social skills in a social skills class, and we were using Dungeons and Dragons to do that. And we hit every one of their goals and things because it was all social goals. And it's amazing how they took to it, because it wasn't them, it was their character. They could express themselves clearer through a character and not get in trouble, and then see how there are consequences of their actions, good or bad, through the game. And it actually started bonding people together. And then when I left teaching, I left it in the H drive, and I could not get back my data. I'm very upset till to this day, because I could have published this down the road, but it is what it is. But I'm happy to get back into a kind of an educational thing. And that's one of the things that my company, we try to reach out to game masters who want to do therapy. We try to reach out to game masters who want to work with children. We try to work with game masters who I have a GM that works only with vets who have PTSD, because getting them together is, you know what I mean? And so, and I don't discriminate. Sure, go ahead, sign them up. Let's go. Have you
had the opportunity to run corporate events or birthday parties?
Oh gosh, yeah. That's the other side of that is my the game masters on the site. Actually, very serendipitous that you said this. We have a GM who contacted me last week. He said, "Hey, somebody found me on the site and wants me to run a birthday party for him. How much do I charge?" I'm like, "All right, let's talk." And so what I did was we have the ability to unlock game posting to private game posts, where it can be an event at someone's home or at a venue, but it's not public facing. So I have a rate. I know my value. I have a rate for the first 3 hours. I have a rate for how much it is every hour afterwards. And I use that as a template, and I share that with my GMs who get contacted. And for those games, I take a very small cut because they're doing the big work. I only take 10% from those games.
Do you offer have any ideas about if you're doing a birthday party? Do you offer add-ons like all the kids get dice, it costs X amount, they all get a miniature or something like that? Is that something you get into?
I speak to the parents and let them know what they do, what we've done for favors before, and it's never what I do. It's all I write up their adventure. So I'll meet with the client. If it's kids, I meet with a kid with their parent there. If it's
what adventure do you choose? That's a big one too, right? What one shot do you do?
So what I do is no, it's not even what do you choose. What do you want to do for your birthday? Is what I ask them. Okay. What kind of adventure you've been playing? If you're as an adult, you've been playing D&D forever. Has anyone sat down with you and said, "Hey, we're going to make a game based on exactly what you're interested in doing? What would you like to do for this game? What would you like to see? What themes would you like?" And you tell me those things, I write them down, and I come up with an adventure based on the level that we choose, the number of players. I make the characters. If the people don't know how to play, I make their own characters for them. And then I put it through a program that makes it look like a published adventure in one of the D&D books. And then I print it out on cardstock on parchment paper to make it look like a professional piece. And they get presented that at the end. They get their adventure as part of their birthday present.
That's awesome.
And so awesome. I do those things. But that's an optional part of it. And I tell the people who are signing up, if you're coming to me and saying, "Hey, this game's in 2 weeks," I won't have time to do that last part. I take it off. But if you say, "Hey, in 3 months, I have a birthday party. I want to book you now," I have plenty of time to do it. So I'll tell them party favors. Buy some unpainted Nulzers miniatures, buy them some dice, and have a paint party the night before. Have the boys have a slumber party, right? Or girls have a slumber party, and they do like a pizza party night, and they paint their minis, and they come in with their minis all happy to go. Oh, it's really good time.
That's a good. I like the idea that having an extra thing for them to do. Parents are always looking just to have the kids do something, especially it's off their phone. Hey, you guys are going to go paint tonight. Party's tomorrow.
Oh yeah, man.
That's an awesome idea.
Oh, we do summer camp. Whoo.
Oh, summer camp! I can't imagine.
We do 3 camps a summer with kids. All the DMs are teachers off for the summertime. I pay them more than they do summer camp or summer school. So.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Yeah, I guess the summer camps are always looking for activities and stuff to do also to fill that time in. So if somebody wanted to contact you and say, "Hey, listen, I want to be a game master. I want to get into bars. I want to start doing parties." They can reach you through your website, Instagram, just an email.
Website is easy. Instagram is easy too. But if you go back to the website, there is smack dab on the top of the page.
Oh, let me get that stand by. Let me pull that up and make sure I hit the right button and not erase everything that we're doing. We're going to stop the share. Let's go to share the screen. This is Rogue Game Masters. Share screen. And we're still on Barovia, but we're going to pull that down and we're going to go back to our homepage. So on the homepage here on roguegamemasters.com.
Thank you. Up at the top there, become a game master or become a GM. So
this is a nice I'm a photographer too. This is a nice professional picture. Looks like it's actually professionally lit, and there may be some flash photography in there.
Oh, it's very much professionally lit. I have a wonderful ad guy. He's been doing our last commercials. Like, they are well done. He has very much helped me grow my business. So if you want to become a game master now, I used to allow everyone who wants to do it to just join up and do it because we do have a vetting system in there. Yeah. But we find a lot of people are impulsive, and if 100 people do it, only 6 of them will follow through with the entire thing. And I have a bunch of blank profiles. After 30 days, those profiles just get yeeted out. But I don't like doing that. So right now, it is I do interviewing. It's not an interview for a job position. It's just, hey, are you able to commit time? And during that time, we just do an onboarding. And I just did one today. And for this person to be able to post games, he has to at least get 5 reviews from his current or former players. And they have to give him a score of 4 to 5 natural 20s. We don't use stars. We use natural 20s for our reviews. Okay. Thank you. Nice. And once you have 5 stars or 5 natural 20s from 5 reviews, you can start posting games. And then we have a follow-up meeting about venues and best practices and all that other stuff. So to become a pro game master, you fill this out. I get an email. I contact you with a Calendly invite, and we do a virtual meeting. Or if you're in our area, it's home meeting.
What do you think? What do you besides the time? What do you think makes a good game master?
Someone who can pivot. Pivoting is the big thing. Is able to read the room, and when the players want to do this, they don't hem and haw. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. We ham it. We ham it up, hem and haw. I wasn't ready for this, guys. Okay, let's go. And you're just ready to keep going. Are ready to pivot very easily. They can also fill that out as well.
Yep. I'm going to pull up your Instagram also. We'll take a quick look at that. Let's share your Instagram screen as we continue our question ear interview. What the players are saying. So this is Rogue Game Masters on Instagram. Professionally run D&D in Hampton Roads and all over. You have hundreds of games online posted there. Do you get to many conventions, Christopher?
Yeah, if you look, I was headhunted by a company called Conboard. They help supply conventions with staffers, like staff. And then I got they got me to work with One Shot Wonders from Roll and Play Press. You've probably seen a lot of their posts.
Well, that's where I met you. I met you there, and I picked up. You talked me into good salesman. You talked me into the first One Shot Wonder Volume 1 book that came with the book, 100 maps, or maybe more, maybe 100 maps. But also it came with virtual maps, which you can download. So I do like the in-person playing too, but it's an awesome option to have and a generous option to have too, to give that much non-physical content, that much digital content that really is easy to share. I mean, you should buy it, but you give somebody 100 files. It's like, well, I got those files now. Those could go anywhere.
It should come standard with the amount of books that people buy for RPGs. A virtual version of that book should come standard, in my opinion. But they were great working with everybody over at One Shot Wonders, Roll and Play Press. They actually have already booked me for 2026.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, we should be there next year too.
Yeah,
that's nice. That's nice.
So yeah, we most of the things you see posted on here are just, hey, we're starting a one shot, we're doing a game. But lately, we haven't been doing as many posts because we're just letting our ads speak for ourselves. And so these are some of the things that we just throw down on the table.
Let's talk about miniatures and terrain. How do you feel about theater of the mind versus having the miniatures on the tabletop?
I'm going to say something very controversial.
You heard it here first, folks.
I don't care. I am a terrain person. I like terrain.
Okay.
I have game masters. I have professional game masters who have full tables, multiple tables that still draw on a grid, and drop dice down for barricades. And people still come to their table every single week because I have said it once. I'll say it again. It's not always about the stuff on the table. It's about the game master at the table. The person telling the story is what brings people in. The extra stuff are just extra. So for me, I like to build something because I like to be tactical in my combat. I like surprises. I like blocking terrain. And so I'll build that because I'm a visual person. But I have game masters who don't use terrain at all. And it's all theater of the mind, and they still sell out their tables. So I'm a proponent for any of them. You do what makes you what you're good at, in my opinion. That's how we work. Rogue Game Masters is for any game master wanting to run a game, however they want to run their game.
I do enjoy terrain. I enjoy miniatures. I paint a little bit. I'm not a great painter. I use some contrast paints, but I find that certain players do like the tactics more. Our current group that we play in that DM Evanson runs, the players at least once every couple of weeks like to see a big battle on the map with lots of little miniatures and terrain, and they count every box. I'm exactly 30 feet away. I can cast a spell. They get very excited. And my new group of players too, they play a lot of Malifaux, BattleTech, Bushido, these tabletop skirmish games. And the reason they like what I'm putting out on the table, we'll print the whole map. We have access to a friend who has a 24 by infinite printer. It's 2 feet by 3, 4, 5 feet. So we'll print the full map out. So the one player, Jay, he said to me, he goes, you know what I like about this? A couple times we played, it was always like a tabletop skirmish, but it's like nothing I've ever played before because every single skirmish was completely different. I play Bushido a lot. It's kind of the same maps. Battletech, kind of the same maps. He's like, we fought in a dungeon. We fought in a swamp. We fought in the side of a mountain. We fought in the Feywild. And every single time it's been different. And he really liked that tactical aspect of it that he had to really think. And I do too. But I think the biggest challenge in that is where do you put all the miniatures?
I'm going to do this here. You might want to turn off the sharing.
Yeah, let's turn this off and let's make everybody big. Maybe I can make. Can I make you bigger? Maybe. No, we'll be equal size, but I'm ready for you.
I'm going to tell everybody if you have motion issues, I apologize, but this is my office. I have all of those. So I've got a 6 foot by 6 foot table here. Yep. All of the terrain, all of those bins back there are filled with Dwarven Forge miniatures, terrain pieces. I've got thousands of D&D minis in there. We've got castles. We've got books. Pardon my bald head. I have battle maps over there on the walls. My GMs come in there and they take them off the hooks and they take them to their games. I'm going to move up here. I also have here be dragons. This is where I keep all my dragons and my big, a lot of my big pieces here. And all of this stuff for the local game masters. This is for them. They come in. You can see right there. There's these bins there. They come in and they go shopping. Is what they call it. They'll come in, they'll grab a bunch of minis, they'll lay them out on my table, they'll take a picture and post it to our Discord channel and check out. They take it to their games, they play their game, they bring it back, they take a picture, and then they return everything. This is an option for my game masters. Not all of them use it, but a lot of them do.
I like that. It goes along, going back to the one-shot wonders, take the one-shot wonder book. I was reading and looking through it. They'll list 3 different levels of difficulty, easy, medium, hard. You take the medium one, it's like this might have a red dragon worm laying in 10 kobolds. So now they don't put the one-shot wonders. I noticed they didn't put the stats in it, but I get why, because
they're system neutral.
They're system neutral. The addition might change. You use Pathfinder. These are the monsters. You use maybe Daggerheart now. These are the monsters. You look them up, you print them out so you have them or have access to them on the iPad or the computer. And then they come to you and they go shopping for those kobolds and that worm, and they're ready to go. They're off to the races.
Easy.
Are you 3D printing yourself? Are you buying WizKid models? Are you you have a favorite kind of collection?
I have lucked out. I do have a business partner. They helped me start the company. And they are a chain of game stores called Tower of Games. And so I am able to do certain orders, especially the onset of the company. I was able to kind of make an inventory and not necessarily I got an employee discount. So I was able to get a lot of stuff off for a discount. And now I have a quarterly budget, and I usually save it for Dwarven Forge because I really like it. You can't really beat it. I like it for the most part. I like it because of the quality. And when I say quality, if I drop a piece of Dwarven Forge, it's not going to shatter into 13 pieces like my 3D printed terrain does. Now, I know that there is a lot of terrain that has been improved over the years. Like the material has gotten a lot stronger. It's just, your
terrain is traveling. It's going in and out multiple times a month, possibly, right? So you need that quality and you need that budget to do it.
Yeah. So you're right. We have, so every Sunday here at, we have a Learn to Play Sunday event. That's been so we have a huge group of new players that have never played D&D before, and we were having a hard time reaching them because our one-shot games were a lot of them were like level 4, level 5, and people don't want to, if they never played before, jump in the of something that higher level. They call that higher level, right? So we started. We have booked out all the way through January. Every Sunday, we have a table at our local game store downstairs at Tower of Games, and we have a Learn to Play Sunday. Flows well. And so people join the Learn to Play games, and some DMs advertise, I'll teach you how to make your characters, and then we'll run a small adventure. Some of them are like, I will make your characters, and we're going to run through a one-shot. And then what that does is it drives players towards campaigns. And so we have people who just joined those games and learned will turn around and say, oh, wow, that was fun. I want to do more. And they'll go join a campaign once a week in the area as well. So that really, we have a system that feeds itself. It's wonderful.
Within your own company, is there any game master? I gotta watch my words. Is there any game master training within your company? Does that come up? Is there a Discord? Do you kind of chat about stuff, or most game masters are kind of like where they need to be? We have
a robust game master Discord. It's Rogue Game Masters on Discord. On our website, on the upper right hand corner, if you're on a PC, there is the Discord symbol. It takes you right to our Discord channel, and we have DM exclusive chats. So when we, for instance, the new guy today who signed up today, he joined the Discord channel and said, hey, I'm a DM. And so I went in and I promoted him to Game Master status. So he gets to chat with all the GMs and the GM chat. And there are a lot of conversations about, how things should be run and if people have questions. So I have people that police themselves or help answer questions. I don't have to answer a lot of questions anymore. It's very nice.
Can you share how much you charge for? Is it a subscription service, or how much to sign up?
Yeah.
Or you take a percentage of the games? Like, what's the structure there? So you can keep going.
Yeah. I'm fully transparent. The GMs are allowed to charge what they want to charge. I heavily encourage them to charge at least $25 a person per session per person. $25 is nothing. It's an adult and a child at McDonald's. That's the world we live in. But it is the world we live in. It's a movie ticket, a small popcorn, and a small soda at a movie theater, and you don't even get to participate in those things. You just show up. Either you eat or you sit and watch. And if it's a stinker movie, you feel like you wasted money.
And it's less time too. I mean, you're probably getting 3 to 4 hours. I imagine.
We've figured out the at least in our area, we figured out the metric. Most of our games are 2.5 to 3 hours.
Okay, that's still a long movie. Most movies are not that long, so you're getting more value.
For a working adult, that's just enough time that I can get home. I can see my family if I need to, or I have some me time to myself that is not carrying over into my personal time. My family time. It scratches the itch every week. So 2.5 to 3 hours. I personally charge $30 a person for any new campaign that starts. I'm raising my rates. I hadn't changed my price since 2020. I was $25 in 2020 all the way up until now. Now, when I make a new campaign, I raise it to $30, and I haven't lost a client yet either. So they see the value in that. Now, I believe in transparency. As it stands right now, it's a 50-50 split. Everything is done 50-50. I'm paying for ads here. I'm paying. I have the venue assistants to help them set up their games. I have all of the things that they can use. So we have a 50-50 split. Now, it used to be 60 GMs got 40, but we got bigger. So my goal is to eventually get it down to probably either 70-30 or 20-80. Where I would be making 20% and the GMs would be making 80%, because we're big enough that I can keep my lights on.
Yep.
I can provide because this is my job. I can provide for my wife and my 3 children, and I can pay rent here in the office. If I can do those 3 things and make 20% per game per person, I will do that. So I've already shown the GMs that I'm going to change it in their favor as much as I can I could live at 60% and they could make 40. There was never a problem, but I'm not greedy. I want them to be able to make more off of this. So that is the goal. So, and I have I need probably about 20 more weekly campaigns to make that transition to 60-40 for me.
Okay.
But it has to be 20 more weekly campaigns. That's a lot. But still,
let's take a few little pictures here. This is at a. Is this a bar? I see a beer, so there's a bar also. Nice looking bar, though. Very, very well lit.
It's called Voodoo. It's a brewery here in Virginia Beach.
I see some Warlock terrain on the board.
No, that's Dwarven Forge.
That is Dwarven Forge.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow, I didn't know.
They're Tudor cottages.
So how many? We have 6 players. Do you max out 6 players?
It's up to the game master.
For me, I think that's my comfortable max. I mean, I could do more, but it's hard.
I like between 4 and 6. My sweet spot is 4 players, but I have to make a certain amount for me to run a game. So this is our D&D summer camp. That the one with the Hello Kitty is my daughter. I do have releases from all their parents allowing them to be on camera. So
good, because you sent me this. I appreciate that.
I do have releases for them to be on social media. Every summer we do. This is the local game store. And that's one of the Weather Dragon tables right there, and it's got my name on it.
Yeah, the Weather Dragon. That's Mike from the Weather Dragon. Anybody listening can go back to our older interview and find the Weather Dragon interview. Amazing, custom-made wooden gaming tables, very high end. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We do 3 summer camps a summer. We do one in June, one in July, and one in August. I have teachers who are off during the summer run the games for the kids because they are vetted. They have background checks or active duty military because they are also vetted. Mm-hmm. So I have a chief. This is also at the Garage Brewery on one of our another event nights. And as you can see, Chris, the game master there, he's using a table, a tablet. He has a piece of wood and a TV in it. That's what I mean. But he uses physical terrain on top of that screen as well. So,
yes. Okay. The combination. So he's got a TV screen and he put the terrain there. That's pretty cool. And that's pretty portable too. I've seen some of those at Gen Con, and the technology's just amazing.
Well, he designed that actually. He put together old I think it's old drawers, and he took the handle part, thin and the wood off the front of drawers, and he then put them together to make it the enclosure so he can grab it by the handles in different parts and carry it around with him.
That's a good idea.
Crafty.
Like that. What's next for Rogue Game Masters? It's just working out expansion. Get more venues, get more game masters, which is probably the hardest part because being a game master is a kind of special calling and a little more challenging.
What I want to do, I would love to get into places that have already established games, not to take over. I say this, I heavily respect other they're kind of like the D&D community professionally is kind of like the wrestling federation in the 70s and 80s, where every region of the country had their own like wrestling zones, right? And then you would go and move, interact with them, and then the WWE brought it all in together, and they all became one. What I want to do is I want to go to the places that have the Dungeons and Drafts out in Philadelphia and in New York. They're huge and they're really good, but they do one-shot events. I would like their GMs to know and that they can still run games for Dungeons and Drafts, but they can also work for themselves if they want to do more. Yeah. I want people to be able to go to Rogue Game Masters and be their own professional GM without having to be tied to another company if they don't want to, or they can work with the other companies as well, because I think that every professional game master has the opportunity to go into business for themselves. I want to work with these companies to help them, help their GMs who want, like I said, want to do their own thing.
I think that's a good goal. I think it's something that's achievable, and I wish you well on that. So once again, we can find you on my banners up here. That's at Rogue Game Masters on Instagram and Facebook, and the website again is roguegamemasters.com. Contact information is on there. Apply to be on a DM is there, and if you're looking for a game too, locally or even around anywhere, but where you are, you can just click on that and see the individual game, the game master, how many seats are open, and sign up, and you can pay directly on there too.
Absolutely. No cash takes hand. All of our payments are done through Stripe, so it's our payment profile or processor, so we don't keep any credit card information on the website. Everything is done. Our subscription service is done through Stripe. Everything is done through Stripe, so it's all clean and neat. And my game masters get 1099s for taxes if they make over a certain amount of money. Yeah, we handle all of that stuff.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yep.
Well, Krista, thank you so much. I appreciate the time. We've gone on an hour now. I learned a lot. I think I even have more questions, and I'll send those offline as I think of them. When Scott and David see the interview too, I'm sure they'll have some questions. But we're looking to get a little involved too. So I appreciate the time. I wish you the best in Rogue Game Masters. I'm going to hit the end recording and just hang out in the green room, and we'll chat for a minute.
All right. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Christopher.